back to nationwide news. I'm Taylor and this is Lana, a citizen from Silas. In Silas, they have no government control. This is known as an anarchy government. How do you feel about an anarchy government?
There are ups and downs in having no government control. I like it because I know nobody will make our country corrupt.
I see lots of countries have corruption problems. How does Silas keep from being corrupt?
We all Silesians want the same thing, freedom. We all want to live happy lives so there isn't a lot of violence. But when there is, it gets bad. Everybody just starts following each other. Nobody's in control when things become a mess. Sometimes I wish there was a ruler, but then we wouldn't have the freedom that we have.
Nobody's in control? Do you have anyone to regulate the laws?
No, Silas can become very dangerous at times. Nobody gets in trouble for anything. People must be able to protect themselves in order to stay safe. Kind of like survival of the fittest, everybody is free to do as they please.
Do you guys have any sort of rights?
Technically, we don't have any rights, but most Silesians like it this way. We'd rather not have anybody have any control over us.
Is it hard sometimes not having anyone control the chaos?
Yes, especially if somebody you know gets injured by another and they're not punished. It can be very sad. My cousin recently got murdered by his enemy, and he was not investigated or punished.
Those are both reasons why I like having some sort of government, so I can have a sort of rights. Another question, what do Silesians live by, or what do they do when things get hard?
Silesians live by leave the freedom to the people, because by no means do we ever want a dictatorship. We chose not to have any kind of ruler because we do not want our country to fall.
Most countries are falling because they have a corrupt government. I've heard that Silas has a free market. Can you tell me about that?
In a free market, nobody regulates taxes, trades, etc. Businesses make their own wages and control everything about their businesses. They only have to do something if they want to because people are governing themselves.
I'm sure there's lots of problems with trust and monopolies because there's no rules or laws. Is that correct?
Yes, that is very correct. Since business owners are controlling their own businesses, they don't have a set minimum wage, so they're free to pay their employees whatever they'd like. And consumers are forced to pay these high prices that the business owners set themselves. They do this on a daily basis, and it's really hard for them to survive if they aren't a business owner themselves because they just don't have that much money. It's similar to capitalism.
Why do you guys use this system? Why do you guys pick your own wages or prices?
It's mainly about the freedom. If we had somebody to choose the prices and wages or taxes, we fear it will lead to corruption.
That sounds really tough, especially if you're not a business owner. How do you live? How do you survive on a daily basis?
We are only able to solve this issue because my husband is a business owner himself. If I didn't have my husband, I'd be poor myself. My husband runs a steel monopoly, so it works out in our favor. My friends, though, have extremely high rent and aren't paid a fair amount. It's really hard for them to even survive because there's no set minimum wage, so their bosses pay them whatever they feel like paying them, and it's most of the time not enough.
Do you think it's easier for people to live without government control?
Yes, but that's what's confusing about government. With a strong government, you have protected rights but lose some freedom, while with no government, you don't have any protection, but you have a lot of freedom.
I see why some citizens would like an anarchy government for freedom, but I also see why some citizens want it for the protection.
Well, Taylor, you've been asking me a lot of questions. It's my turn now. After hearing my experiences and some information about an anarchy government, do you think you would like to live in a country with an anarchy government?
I don't actually think I would. I like having freedom as everyone does, but I need my protection. I need the rights the government provides for us. I don't want to pay extremely high prices and not even make minimum wage. I also don't want to have to constantly be scared for my life.
I understand that. As Silesians grow older, the majority move out because they can no longer protect themselves and they're sick of this daily struggle like money. I get afraid sometimes, but I just remember our motto.
Thank you everyone for tuning in, and thanks for the experiences. Come back to watch Nationwide News. Welcome back to Nationwide News. I'm Taylor and this is Lana. Alive was crazy.
My throat is like...
My throat's so dry, bro. Can you give me some water? I can't keep reading this. As everyone does. But I also see why... I don't know what to say. We can cut this out.
Yes, especially if somebody you know gets injured by
Bro, you can't laugh, Lana. We were doing so good. Everyone does, but I don't think anyone. Oh my god, bro.